Imagine you are lying flat on the ground. The fire is almost out. You can't see anything past 3 feet of darkness, and you can hear something breathing, slowly, somewhere just beyond the trees. You don't know if it is a wolf, a leopard, or a man. This is how every single one of your ancestors went to sleep for 300,000 years. And the strange thing, the thing scientists only recently figured out, is that they survived this. Every single one of them, long enough to have you. What did they do in the 3 seconds after they heard a sound they could not explain? The answer is buried in your nervous system right now. And tonight, when your house creaks, you are going to do exactly what they did, without even knowing why. So what did they actually do? When the fire was low, when the cave was quiet, when something they could not see made a noise they could not explain? The answer is stranger than you think. And a small part of it is still happening inside you, every single night, whether you know it or not. To understand this, we have to throw away almost everything we picture when we imagine ancient humans. We do not picture them lying flat on a hard floor in pitch darkness, knowing that something with claws was inside the same valley. We do not picture them never being fully unconscious. We do not picture them needing each other, in the most literal way, just to close their eyes. But that is exactly what the science is showing us. And it starts with a question no one asked for a very long time. How did our ancestors sleep at all, in a world that was actively trying to eat them? Because here's the strange part. For most of human history, sleep was not safe. Sleep was the most dangerous thing a human body could do. A sleeping human is a soft, slow, blind animal. No claws, no fur, no speed, just breath, and a heartbeat in the dark. And the world outside the fire was not empty. It was full of eyes. For 300,000 years, our ancestors went to sleep in a world that contained saber-toothed cats, cave lions, hyenas the size of small bears, wolves, leopards, and other humans who were not necessarily friendly. Every night they lay down, they were laying down inside a food chain they did not sit on top of. So when we ask, what did ancient humans do when they heard a sound at night? We are really asking something deeper. We are asking how a soft, slow primate survived in a world built for predators. And the answer is not strength. It is not speed. It is something quieter, something we still carry, hidden in our nervous system, that wakes up at 3 a.m., and we usually call it anxiety. But it is not anxiety. It is older than that. It is an inheritance. To find out what ancient humans actually did, scientists had to do something unusual. They had to find people who still sleep the old way. People without walls, without alarms, without ceilings, people sleeping under the same sky our ancestors slept under. In 2017, an anthropologist named David Sampson and his team traveled to northern Tanzania to study the Hadza, one of the last hunter-gatherer groups left on Earth. The Hadza sleep on the ground, near a fire, in the open, the way humans have slept for hundreds of thousands of years. What Sampson found broke every assumption we had about sleep. Across 33 nights of observation, in a group of about 22 adults, there were only 18 minutes. 18 minutes across all 33 nights, where every single person was asleep at the same time. 18 minutes. Out of thousands. Someone, somewhere in the group, was always awake, always listening, always watching the dark. Not because they were assigned to, not because anyone told them to, just because someone, naturally, was up. Scientists call this the Sentinel hypothesis, the idea that humans evolved to sleep in shifts, without ever planning to. Older people wake up at 4 a.m. Middle-aged people stir at 2. Younger ones stay up late. The group itself, without ever discussing it, kept watch. Which means your grandparents waking up at 4 in the morning is not insomnia. It is a 300,000-year-old job description that no one ever fired them from. And it means something else. Something about you. The reason you sometimes wake up at 3 a.m. for no reason at all? That is not a malfunction. That is a position you were born into. But the Sentinel is only half the story. Because even when ancient humans were asleep, they were not really asleep. Not the way we are. In modern sleep labs, researchers have observed something called the first night effect. When a person sleeps in a new environment, one half of their brain stays slightly more awake than the other. One hemisphere goes deep, the other one stays on watch. Yuka Sasaki and her team at Brown University showed this in 2016. Your left brain is listening for you while your right brain rests. It is the ghost of an old behavior. The shadow of a time when sleeping in a new place meant your body had to keep one ear open, literally, or you would not see morning. So what did ancient humans do when they heard a strange sound at night? The first thing they did, the thing your body still does, was freeze. Total stillness. Breath held. Eyes wide. The amygdala, the small almond-shaped structure in the center of the brain, Fires before conscious thought even begins. You feel the freeze before you understand what you heard. The second thing they did was listen. Not for what the sound was, but for what came after it. Silence after a sound is reassurance. A second sound in the same direction is a pattern. A pattern means a presence. A presence means a decision. And the third thing, the most important thing, is something psychologists call error management. In the 2000s, UCLA researcher Marty Hazelton showed that human brains are not designed to be accurate. They are designed to be safe. If your ancestor heard a rustle and assumed it was wind and it was actually a leopard, they died. If they heard a rustle and assumed it was a leopard and it was actually wind, they lost 3 seconds of sleep. Over 1 million years, only one of those ancestors had children. You are the descendant of the second one, of the paranoid ones, of the ones who flinched at shadows, of the ones who sat upright at 2 a.m. for no reason their conscious mind could name. Every single one of us is the great-great-grandchild of someone who never fully trusted the dark. But ancient humans did something else. Something we almost never think about. They did not sleep alone. The science is clear here. Human sleep is a group activity. We are one of the only primates that consistently sleeps on the ground, and we only manage to do it because we do it together. A sleeping human alone in the open is dead. A sleeping human in a group, with one person watching, is a species. This is why isolation feels physically wrong. Why people who sleep alone in unfamiliar places feel an instinct that is older than language. Your body knows that sleep without others is unsafe. Your body knows it the way a fish knows water. And then there is sound. Sound, more than sight, is what kept ancient humans alive at night. Vision fails in the dark. Smell is unreliable, but sound carries. Sound moves through trees, through rock, around fires. Sound is the long-range security system of the human body, which is why a single, unexplained sound in your bedroom at 2 a.m. still freezes you the way it did. Your visual cortex is mostly offline. Your sense of smell is dulled by sleep. But your auditory system, the part of you that listens, never fully shuts off. You are wired to wake up to sounds you cannot explain, not to sounds you can. The fridge clicking does not wake you. The dishwasher does not wake you. But a single, unfamiliar creak does, and your body sits up before your mind catches up. That is the ancient Sentinel. That is 300,000 years of evolution opening its eyes inside you, asking the only question that ever mattered. What was that? And here is the part that almost no one talks about. Ancient humans, the ones who survived, were not just listening for danger. They were teaching each other to listen. They warned each other with sounds. They named the predators with sounds. They invented language, almost certainly, around a fire, in the dark, trying to describe a sound someone else had heard. Language itself may have been born from a single question, repeated for tens of thousands of years. What was that? Did you hear it too? Are you awake? Every conversation you have ever had is a descendant of that question. So when you lie in bed tonight, and the house cools, and the floorboard creaks, and something small inside you opens its eyes, do not be frightened. And do not try to fall back asleep too quickly. Just listen. Because for a few seconds, in a dark room, in a quiet house, in a world that is much safer than the one you came from, you are doing the oldest thing a human can do. You are remembering a fire you never built, in a forest you never saw, and a sound your blood has been waiting 300,000 years to hear.